Tige, who just happens to be the reigning champion in this class. He's been okay. He's been sort of hovering around the top 10, Ken, but by Matthias's extremely high standards, it's been a slightly average day for him so far.
I think that's fair to say. That's no disrespect by you and I, but we're judging him only by his own high standards, and on that basis, no, he's not been at his best. But sometimes the wounded tiger is the one that's the most dangerous, and of course tomorrow another day. And if Matthias is getting himself into a decent position for the pre-final, there's nothing that's beyond him. Pat Pearce, incidentally, starting all of these races outside the top 10 in the heats, and he's come on with some strong drives, so it certainly can be done to drive through from the back.
That's right, yeah. Patrick fourth in the championship last year. Bit of a disappointing day from yesterday in qualifying. But it's been an opportunity, hasn't it, for those who struggled yesterday. I say struggled. You could have been 1.5 tenths off the ultimate pace yesterday, and instead of being at the front in qualifying, you'd have been somewhere in the middle of the field because it was so tight. We had, I think, all the sessions that we had in all the groups yesterday, the top 22 drivers covered by less than a second. So it's all been fractional, but it always is at this level. You've got to get every last ounce of speed out of the kart that you can. But an opportunity presented itself this morning when the weather changed for those that struggled a bit in the dry yesterday to do what they can. And if the forecast has been right, if it does turn back into a sunny day tomorrow, it's going to turn it on its head again, isn't it? So those that struggle today in the wet might charge through in the dry tomorrow.
Very valid point, Chris. And Max Verstappen telling Sarah, hey, I like it in the wet. Philip Morin clearly enjoying himself in the wet. Well, the all-round test, you've got to do it on the tracks that are big, that are small, that are slick, that are grippy, that are tight, that are sweeping, that are wet, that are dry. If you want to be a champion, you've got to master all of the conditions. So an extra dimension being kicked in. Well, Senderuva so disappointed with the outcome of his world title tilt when he went out in a big lead in the final, and we all felt, certainly I said in commentary at that time, everybody that meets him in competition this year is going to feel the backdraft of that, albeit he did lose to Ben Cooper, who's a very worthy champion, although Ben did say, I was fortunate with Sen going out when he did. So, Senderuva can make a statement this evening. He starts alongside Sean Babington. Behind them, Andreas Bachmann and Ferenc Kanksar, as Chris read a few moments ago. So, a 10-lap race for Groups A and C in DD2. The furthest forward of the DD2 Masters is Chris Adams. Here we go, we're racing. Oh, and a massively better start by the off-pole driver, Sean Babington, almost as if Senderuva was saying, look, I'm not that interested, but Sean has spilt the lead, and it's getting very tight out there. Emerging onto the link straight, kart number 603 is Senderuva. So, and we've got some of our front runners touching and spinning. I can't believe that everybody that touched is still racing. They did 360 degrees. Well, now they're not.
Yeah, they are. A full 360 by somebody there, got going again. Andreas Bachmann got in the wars a bit there. He certainly lost a few places in all of that. One or two gained a handful of places though with it all. Sean Babington, I think, made his way through it, didn't he? And he's emerged quite brightly from all of that. We'll wait and see when they come back through. But
can I just say, Chris, with Senderuva almost conceding the speed at the start,
it worked.
Seemed to be some kind of a strategy, and it worked. And how? Because look at the lead that he has as they come round to complete the opening lap. Senderuva in kart 603 has got about 20 kart lengths in front. Sets off on his second lap in front of Sean Babington.
Yep.
Behind Sean Babington in third place, Ferenc Kanksar, Seamus Judovicius, and Lucas Orrick getting himself up to where we've been expecting him, and the best position for some time for Barry Pullinger.
That's right, yeah. Sean didn't make the best of starts, did he? But he worked his way, just his gut reaction really worked his way through all that chaos at turn 5 and emerged in second place. But you're right about Senderuva, sacrificing speed through the first corner, taking the wider line and then picking them all off through the next 3 turns. It's what Philip Moran's been doing all day long, and it's worked very well indeed, that wider line through turn 1. So Zenderua leads the way, the Belgian driver. 2 seconds clear almost already, though, of Sean Babington coming through in second there in third. Frank Canshar, who again has been very solid today, like he was in Genk.
Can I just say, you look at the big lead on screen there for Zenderua. There's a big lead in Masters because 8th on the circuit is Florent Lambert, first of the Masters. 18th on the track is Chris Adams, second of the Masters. So Flo Lambert going out with a flourish, perhaps.
Yeah, he's been quiet all weekend by his standards, hasn't he? But we normally hear a lot from Flo. But yeah, he's just
in more ways than one.
More ways than one. He struggled today. He struggled yesterday, but he's had a great start to this race, up in 8th place, so ending the day on a high. He'll be desperate to qualify for the pre-final. Leader goes through Zenderua, then Babington, then what about third and fourth? It's changed, it's Universis has got through, and a French Cansart on the run into the third turn there. And just looking further down the order, we've got 1 or 2 battles going on. Where's the T? She's down in 7th place. And Batman was the one I was watching as well. He fell right back down the order. In 13th place he is. So Andreas has again had a bit of a frustrating day falling down the order. Look at the lead on screen that Zenderua has. He's got, what's that, Ken? 15, 20 kart lengths
easily
advantage.
And Seamus Udavicius going second, I think, Chris, if he can consummate this, going past Sean Babington. And I have to say that Seamus Udavicius is very much in the Philip Morin mould in these conditions. Looks as if he would hold a banner saying, this is what I like for racing conditions best of all. Goes through in second place, and they start lap 4. Zenderuva's lead 2.2 seconds. Another 7.7 of a second behind for Sean Babington now. Ferenc Canshar still strong in 4th. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lucas Orrock in the top 5 in kart 606, and Lucas Orrock going from 5th to 4th as we speak. So Lucas Orrock going past Ferenc Canshar. It's now Zenderua, Seamus Udavicius, Sean Babington 1, 2, 3, Lucas Orrock 4th, and Ferenc Canshar 5 as we're on lap 4 of 10.
It's been a very popular overtaking spot, turn 5, that left-hander, hasn't it? We've seen a lot of moves there, and quite a few of them coming from Lucas Orrock today. Good to see Barry Pullinger having his best run of the day so far there in 6th place, ahead of Detige. Florent Lambert is right behind the reigning champion. He'd be quite pleased about that. Felicity Lutan has tweeted again, flying Zen is back. Zenderua certainly is leading the way here. And 2.2 seconds clear of Sean Babington. Sean has been a race winner, don't forget, but I think this has been a better lap from Sean, or maybe a worse lap from Derua.
Seamus getting to within 0.4 of a second of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Seamus Udavicius with the best lap of the race there, 107.747.
And takes the lead.
Oh.
And does he concede it? Seamus Udavicius. Well, Chris, you're in a kart, and the kart is of standard dimensions, and yet Seamus Udavicius seems to be able to use his huge frame and his height. But Zenderua is coming back.
He got a much better run onto the back straight.
Not going to be able to go through.
You know why, don't you? Udavicius went through that puddle and lost an awful lot of traction. Through that puddle on the inside curve onto that back straight, slows them down every time. But especially when you pull off a move in the corner before that, that's where you have to be. That's the line you're on. But we've seen that so many times today, and Derua almost got him back because of it.
But Seamus pulling away a little bit, and Zen, well, I say that, Zen is certainly showing, it's like body language in the kart. I can almost hear Zenderua saying, you're not getting away, you so-and-so. You're not. I'm going to come back and get at you. But Seamus is coming round, increasing the advantage. It was 0.4 of a second over him. It's now a full second over Zen at the half race distance. 5 laps gone, 5 to go. Seamus Udavicius leaves, Zenderua, Sean Babington third.
A Lithuanian leads, a Belgian is second. Then it's the battle of the Brits, because Sean Babington in third place, who has been going quickly. He's been caught by Lucas Orrock there in 4th position. And then it's the Hungarian French Cansart. They finished second in the opening round at Genk. Not too far away from them. Barry Pullinger is having a royal battle with Matthias Detige onto the back straight.
Did they trade places there? I think that they may have done.
I think Barry's still ahead of Matthias. Just about
on the screen.
Just about, I think.
At the moment we see Udavicius in that big lead over Zenderua, an even bigger margin to our third place driver. But that's where the action is. Sean Babington holding station. But that's Lucas Orrock behind him, isn't it? Lucas Orrock, and then Ferenc Canshar and Barry Pullinger where they were.
Here comes your
Matthias
race leader.
then still 7th as I read it.
I think Pullinger's still ahead of him. So through they come. Universis. Through he goes. Derua second by 2.2 seconds there. Babington and Oric go over the line. Into turn 1 they go. Is there going to be any change between them? No, but Oric was certainly flying along. Kanchar is 5th. Datish did get through at the end of the lap into 6th place ahead of Pullinger. Pat Pierce up to 8th. Marshall and Lambert is 10th now, still leading the Masters class from last year's champion. And Lucas Oric now goes for a move up the inside of Sean Babington into turn 6 though. Babington at the inside, there's contact. Lucas Oric is sent into a spin and out of the race he goes. Well, out of contention, he gets back going again, but he was pointed the wrong direction, and I think he's lost 3 places. That was the battle for 3rd. Kanchar, Detish and Pullinger have all got past him, so I think he's down to something like 7th place now, Lucas Oric. Babington went back up the inside line, but that puddle is there. He ran wide into Oric, and Oric, I'm afraid, getting hit. So Lucas Oric having a full 360 there. Contact with Babington. It was nothing deliberate. They were just running side by side there. Neither of them wanted to give an inch. And Babington, when he ran into that huge amount of surface water on the inside, I think he just lost his steering and went wide into Lucas Oric. He was on the outside line, and away he went. So Universis leads the way. Derua is 2nd. Babington comes through in 3rd. Kanchar now up to 4th. Detish up to 5th. Pullinger up to 6th. Pierce is up to 7th. And then Lucas Oric comes through in 8th. Lucas Oric comes through in 8th place, I'm afraid, Ken.
Guys, those of you tuned in online, we really do appreciate you being with us, but we've got to tell you the conditions and the fact that we've got some power loss means we're on limited cameras now. We don't have our full range of cameras, but Chris and myself will continue with the race call. You will still see some pictures. Hope it doesn't spoil your enjoyment. Please understand these are difficult conditions, not only the wet, but also the loss of power. Well, Judavicius and Zendaruva there, and here's that battle 4th and 3rd, and is it a passing move? Has Kanchar gone through? Not sure it was, no. I think it may have been a misread of who the driver was. This is most certainly the driver we think it is. Seamus Judavicius setting off on lap 9.
He's done it now though. Kanchar coming out of the hairpin, pulls off the move. He did have a go, you were right. He had to go at Babington, but Babington got the better run out of the right hand hairpin. Out of the left hand hairpin though, Kanchar gets through. So up to 3rd place he comes, the Hungarians. Universis number 663 leads. Derua is there in 2nd place. He's just coming into turn 5 now. And then the new 3rd place man, Ferenc Kanchar. Then it's Babington. Babington coming under fire now from Matthias Detish. Matthias having his best race of the day, I reckon, here in 6th place. He's onto the tail now, Babington. When they can, they run a little bit wider through that final turn onto the back straight to be able to avoid that huge amount of standing water on the inside of the corner. On the brakes, Babington is caught by Matthias Detish, but Babington keeps him at bay. You can see them flashing across the top of the screen now into the next corner, and Sean Babington still under a huge amount of pressure. This battle for 4th and 5th positions. Matthias Detish is going to have a look up the inside on the way into the hairpin. Babington runs oh so wide, but watch him come back out of the corner. He might be able to get the run back on him on the way into the left hand. It's going to be tight as Detish managed to stick to it. I think he just about has. Let's have a look when they come back through. Derua goes through in 2nd. There in 3rd place you can see coming through Ferenc Kanchar, and yes, Matthias Detish did make the move stick as I thought he had. Babington then has put back down to 5th.
Yeah, good call, Chris. And Sean Babington, I just wonder, I think the officials may well want to have a look at the pictures on that coming together with Lucas Oric. Sean doesn't want to lose too many more places. He might be losing some in the steward's room, but hey, that's not for us. It's the final lap. Seamus Judavicius has got 5.5 seconds on the field. Zendaruva has got an even bigger margin over the 3rd place driver, Ferenc Kanchar. Matthias Detish may well feel that having got past Sean Babington, 1.4 seconds to find to get past Ferenc Kanchar isn't going to happen. Checkered flag, but we've got marshals crossing the circuit, but in fairness, there's no driver coming. Well, coming into view now is Seamus Judavicius, the tall Lithuanian. One more turn to make. He makes that turn. 10 laps completed. Your winner, Seamus Judavicius. It's a long, long way back to 2nd place, but taking the runner-up position, Zendaruva, 6.5 seconds adrift. Coming home in 3rd place, the Hungarian driver, Ferenc Kankshar. Matthias de Tees, the defending champion, as Chris Hartley said in commentary, showing his best form of the day. The defending champion, who's been a little bit off colour, not in terms of health, just in terms of his best capabilities, but finding some form in that one. Sean Babington 5th, Barry Pullinger 6th, Lucas Horrock, not helped by the coming together on the back straight with fellow Brit Sean Babington, comes home 7th, Pascal Marshall of Germany 8th, Paddy Pearce 9th, and Hay is going to like this one, 10th place in the top 10, Florent Lambert, and winning the Masters category by a margin. 16th place Chris Adams, second in Masters, and 21st place Van Rensburg, third in Masters.
Terrific run of form it's been for Seamus Universis, and our race winner, completing his day with a victory, is now speaking to Sarah Dryhurst.
That's exactly right. I'm here with Seamus. Seamus, a fantastic race from 5th to 1st. Congratulations.
Yeah, today was really my weather, because every time if it's raining I'm very fast, and also a little bit difficult because every time I'm driving to another tires, but I come back in Rotax and I'm still fast, and today I won all heats and it's good beginning, and I think tomorrow I can do the same and for sure on the top 3.
Well, Zen was leading up until lap 3 when you just pushed past.
Yeah, and a little bit after start was difficult because everybody pushing, but every lap going faster and faster, and overtaking other drivers and come back to first position and for sure winning.
Congratulations, Seamus. Well done to you.
Yeah, well done indeed, Seamus. There you can see on screen the confirmation that the Energy Racing driver won. The Lithuanian victorious by, I think, the biggest winning margin that we've had to date, 6.5 seconds. Zinderua led the early stages of the race, but he's had a solid day. He's had a couple of second places. And Zinderua, I think, fastest in the dry yesterday. Another very solid day today. And Zinderua is now speaking to Sarah.
Well, I'm here with Zen, who had a very successful race as well. Started off in 1st, but wasn't able to hold position. Zen, tell me a bit about the race.
Well, first of all, congrats to Seamus. I know Seamus from a few years ago, and I know he's a very good rain driver, so I'm very happy that I'm 3 times second behind him. So yeah, I just wanted to finish in the front, so I have a good starting position for tomorrow morning in the pre-final, and they say that tomorrow it's dry, so no chances.
Absolutely, and we were having a bit of a chat before you went out, and you said you were hoping to keep in the top 3 and then really push for tomorrow. So that's the plan now. Yeah,
that's the plan. So I think tomorrow I start second next to Seamus, so it will be interesting racing.
Do you prefer the dry then?
Yes.
So looking forward to tomorrow. Really well done, Zen.
Thank you.
Well, Zenderova always willing to talk it as it is, and being quite honest and frank about that one. But he's dead right, absolutely right. Done nothing wrong today. He starts tomorrow way up front, and tomorrow different conditions. And as Chris Hartley said several times, tomorrow they score championship points. So a good day's work for Zenderova if beaten in that one by Seamus Udovicius. Good to hear from both of them. Well done, Sarah, doing her duty at trackside in the rain.
Final race of the day coming up. Because of the various power cuts that we've experienced at the circuit. It's affected the power that we've been able to get here, and so I believe a loss of TV pictures for you online at the moment. We're trying desperately to get them back for you, but you, I believe, can still hear us at least, so you'll hear the commentary for what's going to be the final race of, again, a very busy day. And well done, while we've got a chance to say so, to all of the marshals out there in, well, it's not the best ad being a marshal today as it stood out in the rain, but without them we cannot race. They volunteer, they're doing a terrific job, and a huge thank you, grazie mille, all our marshals, and to the team here at RGMMC who've been busy working away to make sure that despite the conditions, everything has run very smoothly today, to time, bang on time. At 6 o'clock they come out, and a good effort that. So well done to everybody working hard behind the scenes, and a big effort as well by all the team members. The drivers have been out there experiencing yes, wet conditions, but I can also tell you that it's tremendous fun driving a kart in wet conditions. The mechanics, on the other hand, have their workload almost doubled on days like this. Have to clean everything down, wipe everything down, check it all over. They've been changing the setup today, so they'll be probably pretty exhausted tonight, I think, but they've done a great job. So, our final race of the day coming up. It's race number 22. It's DD2, and we've got quite a good name on the front row of the grid on pole position, because 602 Mikalayo, championship leader, is on pole position. He's on pole position, although a bit like Matthias de Tige, he has been a bit quiet by his own standards today. Jordan Lennox-Land, very quick in the dry yesterday, very quick in the wet today, but in his last heat, last time out, he had a problem on the first lap. I think he got hit, took out, and so he's had one bad result. And Jordan Lennox-Land, who normally races in other categories, in the KZ category, in which he's a very competent international competitor, making his debut in the Euro Rotax Max Challenge. See what he can do. On the second row of the grid, we've got Alexander Finkelstein and Sandro Lukovic. Finkelstein, the French driver, Lukovic, the Austrian driver. Sandro Lukovic was quick, finished third in his last race earlier on today. So, Laiho, number 602 on pole. Lennox-Lamb, number 661 alongside. On row 2, it's 637 Alex Finkelstein and number 653 Sandro Lukovic. On row 3, Kevin Ludi, number 608, and Ben Cooper, the world champion in kart, 628. Row 4, 766 Alessandro Minetti, the highest placed Masters driver in terms of qualification. Antonio Piccioni, number 662, shares the fourth row. And row 5, Luca Kamali, 617. Marcel Shermat, number 615, is up there as well. And again, watch from just outside the top 10, Cristiano Migado in kart 735. The triple world champion has been on absolutely scintillating form here. On 2 occasions already, he's made his way through from 11th on the grid, the 6th row of the grid, to come through and to finish in the top 5 and to even challenge for podium positions. Alongside him, you've got Tamsin Germain, the 718 kart. Tamsin, the runner-up last year in terms of the Masters drivers. And then on the 7th row of the grid, Martin Steiner, it's number 621. Maxi Fleischmann, number 660, the German driver. And on the 8th row of the grid, we've got Igor Mukin, the Russian, in 725. Luke Van Rensburg, the younger of the Van Rensburgs, because Dad also races Lawrence. But it's Luke in kart 676 on the 8th row. And then on the 9th row, Antti Ramo, number 616, and Dennis Crowe, 746. Row 10, Manuel Scheibinger and Andrei Stepanov. Row 11, Chris Krohn and Euripides Hestinfananis. And they're coming round now, ready for the start of the race. Is it going to be a clean start? No, it's not, is the answer to that. They're going to go round again and have another crack at it. So, a chance for them, I suppose, at least, although they've not yet realised it, but now they do, and now they slow down. A chance for them at least to have another glance at the track and just try and figure out how it's changed, because it's been a while, Ken, since these guys were out, and the track has changed a fair bit since then, so I want to examine where the standing water is.
Throughout the day, as we've been saying, Chris, it's easier to say, oh, it's been tough conditions, it's been very wet, but changing wet, it's been tippling it down. It's been drizzle, it's been light rain, it's been drying. And as you quite rightly say, even though it's been a wet day's racing, these guys may well have come out in 4 heats, 3 heats, 2 heats, in completely different conditions. Good point.
Okay, well, it's pretty much as wet as it's been, hasn't it, through that part of the circuit. Look how wet, that's one of the wetter corners there. A lot of standing water through that left-hander at turn 10 into turn 11, the hairpin. The right hander, and they are bunching them up nicely now. So just to remind you that the championship leader, Mikalayo, is on pole position for this one in kart 602. But Jordan Lennox-Lamb, the British driver, who's coming into Euro Rotax for this weekend, is incredibly quick and is alongside him on the front row. The rain almost increasingly heavy as the formation laps have continued, so it's getting wetter and wetter out there. I'm sure the officials, the marshals, will be delighted the day's about to end and they can have a chance to dry out and warm up a bit. It's not cold, to be fair, but it is going to be pretty cold for them instead of wearing wet clothes. Right, they couldn't be more bunched up, that's for sure. They've done a good job this time of keeping them all together, the front row men. Now they've just got to keep it sensible coming out of the last corner and not accelerate. until they're due to do that. Pretty slippery for Jordan Lennox-Lamb, even at low speed coming out of that final corner. Eyes fixed on the gantry then, revs rise, race gets underway, second time of asking. It looked like a good start for Mika Laiho. And has he got through to the lead of the race? Not sure he has. Finkelstein's made a decent start as well. They're safely through the first corner. They come through turn 3 back towards us now. And yet Laiho does hold on to the lead of the race. And then making a great start is Alessandro Manetti. Second place for him. Or is it because he's under attack on the way into the back straight? Oh, he's bumped a little bit wide there, and he's going to drop 3, 4, 5 places. So Manetti with a great start. Was it maybe Lennox-Lamb that was running in there with him? Either way, there was a bit of a coming together. He pushed out wide, and Manetti, despite the terrific start, he's going to probably end up about where he started in about 7th or 8th.
Started 7th, and I guess that's where he'll come out. But I felt sorry for Manetti there because he didn't do a lot wrong, did he? It was a very, very good piece of driving. But is it my imagination, Chris, or are they just picking their way round here even more carefully? Your point about how different are the track conditions.
Couple off at the hairpin there, get going again. But Mika Laiho leading the way at the end of the first lap. Oh, we got 2, 3 off. Lennox-Lamb, I think, is one of them. On the way into the penultimate corner, there were 3 carts off. There was a bit of contact. Laiho comes through. Finkelstein is second. Cristiano Magado, again, a stunning start in 3rd place. Then it's Sherman, then it's Mukin. Cooper's still there. He's in 6th place. Lennox-Lamb is one of the carts that's gone off. He's down in 14th place. And who else? Kevin Ludy's out of sorts, isn't he? Kevin Ludy, number 608, I think, involved in that. Down to 20th. And Manetti, yeah, poor old Manetti, brilliant start. After all of that, though, he ends up last, 22nd.
Two masters in the top 5. I know it's a slightly artificial situation, but Chris Magado running 3rd and Igor Mukin running 5th. Mika Laiho, Alex Finkelstein and Cristiano Magado, the 1, 2 and 3. But commiserations there to Jordan Lennox-Lamb. Plenty of time to try to repair the damage, but that was unlucky because he was really, as I saw that, didn't do an awful lot wrong, but it was just one of those things. Kevin Ludy, the up and down day continues.
Yeah, and a real shame for Manetti. Brilliant start to the race.
I should have said so too, Manetti.
Igor Mukin, though, has had terrible luck so far today. He's had kart trouble. He hasn't got past the first lap on a couple of occasions, but 7.25 Igor Mukin is there in 5th place. Mika Laiho continues to come under pressure from Alexander Finkelstein. Cristiano Magado is flying after them.
Finkelstein taking the lead, Chris.
Nearly going for it at the inside now. Runs wide, though. Runs wide, and Mika Laiho gets him back. This extremely wide line further back for Cristiano Magado. He's reeling them in. Finkelstein having another go here. Mika Laiho hung out to dry, and Laiho will lose another place as he runs wide, runs a wheel onto the grass, coming onto the back straight. Cristiano Magado will pick him off, and Magado then up to 2nd place now.
Laiho 1. Finkelstein 1, Magado 2, Laiho 3, and I think it's Manny Sherma who's going well in 4th place. It might have been Ben Cooper who I saw moving forward to 4th. Ben Cooper is, in fact, I think that Ben Cooper has got Manny Sherma as they go away from us. We don't have the aid of the screen pictures. We are peering through a slightly hazy window, but certainly we can tell you this is Alexander Finkelstein, the double French champion, coming round to start lap 4 in the lead from Cristiano Magado, who therefore leads in the Masters category. Mika Laiho 3rd.
Ben Cooper 3rd.
Ben Cooper goes past him, thank you.
Briefly, he's run wide, look, he's run wide.
But Ben Cooper making another go, and this time, no, still it's going to change. And we do have our pictures back. Those of you tuned in online. And Mika Laiho and Ben Cooper having a really, really good dice. Ben Cooper having another go. They're side by side for 3rd and 4th, going down the back straight. Magado in front of them 2nd. Finkelstein in front of everybody 1st. But Ben Cooper and Mika Laiho, both champions in different categories in DD2. Getting a really good dice on for 3rd, 4th. Our screen pictures are back and you can see them. It's the 3rd and 4th place drivers. Now, Mika Laiho is in the slightly darker colours, if I'm going to use that expression, because there's not much colour, than Ben Cooper. And Ben Cooper, I think, has consolidated that pass. Alexander Finkelstein, and again, that exaggerated body lean of Cristiano Magado that Chris and myself have talked about previously. This is the start of lap 5. Finkelstein's lead, 0.7 of a second over Chris Magado. in many ways, Chris Magado will feel that he could make a real statement here if he could get past Finkelstein, but as it happens, that's okay for where he is in Masters. 6-8, Ben Cooper though getting closer, left Mikolaiho a little bit further behind. Fifth place driver is Manny Shermer, and then there's quite a gap, but behind them a good scrap between the second place. Chris, you've seen something.
That battle you're about to talk about, just swapping and changing. 2 places gained going onto the back straight for none other than Jordan Lennox-Lamb. Steinert's had a big go at Mukin. Mukin had to go back at him. They battered each other out of the way. The door opened up, and Jordan Lennox-Lamb was happy to stand in the gap. So he went from 8th to 6th in that move. Jordan back on the attack here, having had that drama at the end of lap number 1. So Lennox-Lamb, I reckon, back up to 6th place. Martin Steinert's and Igor Mukin having a real battle just behind. Mukin still the leading, well, second in the Masters class, because Morgado, of course, is second overall and leading the Masters class in this race. Finkelstein goes through. Morgado was 0.3 of a second quicker than him, though, closing up all the time. He's bringing with him Ben Cooper as well. Bit of pressure here for Finkelstein. 2 world champions on his tail, and
there's the move
through.
Cristiano Morgado takes the lead, and Ben Cooper says, I'm coming through as well. So without doing an awful lot wrong, Alex Finkelstein finds himself going from 1st to 3rd. But Finkelstein fighting back with Ben Cooper.
He's got the inside line on the run into the final turn, but he hasn't quite got the legs, and Ben Cooper makes it stick. I was about to say, bit of pressure there, isn't there, for Finkelstein? He's got 6 World Championship titles on his tail, hadn't he? So no, don't look behind you. But anyway, didn't have much chance to defend, did he? Because as soon as he got to him, Morgado was through. Ben Cooper saw the gap, spotted an opportunity. He went through as well. Finkelstein did try and fight back down the back straight, but it wasn't quite to be for him. So it's Morgado, Cooper, Finkelstein, the new top 3. Mikolaiho there in 4th place. Mario Shermer 5th. Lennox-Lamb, as I described, up to 6th place. Here come the new top 3. It's been a while since a Masters driver won a race in the Euro Challenge, I would think.
And 3 Masters in the top 10, because Dennis Kroos 9th and Igor Mukin 8th. The answer to your question is yes, I don't think it's happened.
Right, Morgado, which one is it going to be? Which world champion is it going to be? Because Ben Cooper is on the attack now in 2nd place. To be fair to Finkelstein, he's hanging on to them in 3rd place. Mikolaiho 4th, Mario Sherman in the black suit there in 5th place. Coming onto the back straight, Ben Cooper, you feel, is the quicker of the 2 in this lead battle, and he gets a decent run onto the back straight. Not quite sure he's close enough yet to break the race leader, but he certainly reels him in a bit. 4th and 5th look to be quick at this stage of the race as well. Yes, they are. Mikolaiho putting in one of his best laps of the race. So he's hanging on to them in 4th place. Then Shermer, then Lennox-Lamb in 5th place. Very quick as well. Finkelstein, actually, of that lead group, is the slowest of them. So Finkelstein, I think, may be in danger of being caught by Mikolaiho toward the end of this lap.
And yet he's hanging on to the front 2 gamely, Chris.
Yeah, better at the end of the lap. Good on the brakes, actually, on the way into the hairpins. That's clawed him back in a bit. Finkelstein with the greeny blue helmet back onto the tail now of Ben Cooper. Of Cristiano Morgado in 2nd place, because Ben Cooper has got the lead of the race for the first time. Morgado 2nd, Finkelstein 3rd, Laiho and Shermer not far behind in 4th and 5th position. So Ben Cooper up into the lead of the race, not for the first time today. He's already had a race win. Finkelstein still trying to hang on to Cristiano Morgado, not quite able to do it. Morgado almost invites him into the corners. He leaves the door wide open, but Finkelstein cannot keep the momentum coming out of the corners. Slight error there from Martin Steinert's coming out of turn 4 in 7th place. Kevin Ludy's fired back up the order, hasn't he? Back up to 8th place in kart 608. Yeah, he was down and out, wasn't he? Tamsin Germain, I'm afraid her troubled day continues down in 20th place. Marigolds or not, he's not really helping her out, so she's down in 20th position. And Igor Mukin's dropped back, hasn't he? Down to 12th place now.
Yeah, we've only got 2 Masters in the top 10 this time. Chris Morgado running 2nd, Dennis Kroos 9th, and as you say, 3rd place Master Igor Mukin running 12th. We're into the final quarter of the race. In fact, race leader Ben Cooper coming round to see that there will be 2 to go. 2 to go. Ben Cooper leads, Chris Morgado 2nd, Alex Finkelstein 3rd, then quite a decent little gap to the runner-up in last year's championship, this year's championship leader Mikolaiho 4th. Manny Skirmer, I have to say I'm impressed with Marcel Skirmer, Manny to his chums, Kart Sport Klim team driver of the CRG. Jordan Lennox-Lamb would have been better placed one fields, but for that invitation to leave the circuit and go grass track racing, but he's fought back gamely. Martin Steinertz, another of our Baltic drivers who always gives everything, 7th. Kevin Ludi, as Chris said, going well in 8th. Dennis Crow's 9th. And Manish Scheibinger kart 657 driving the Tony kart for KSW Racing, completing the top 10.
The way he's going, Kevin Ludi's almost certainly going to catch and pass Martin Steinertz. He's 0.6 of a second a lap quicker, and he's not too far away from him. So 6:08 Kevin Ludi in 8th place, trying to be in 7th position. Ben Cooper has set the fastest lap of the race. That was a 108.4. His next lap was a 108.5. So having got his nose in front, he's comfortable, as he always is. The world champion goes through over the start-finish line to begin the final lap of the day. Finkelstein comes through in 2nd. He's got ahead of... There's Morgado gone. He's dropped down to 5th.
Didn't see that, Chris. Didn't spot the incident there. May simply have been that he was passed by Liho and there was room for Marcel Schirmer to go through as well.
Such a shame for Morgado after a great race. Still 5th is good. Still he's the leading Masters driver. So Cooper, Finkelstein and Liho now the top 3. Schirmer 4th, Morgado 5th, and Lennox Lamb still in 6th position. Liho and Dittige saving the best till last, aren't they? The top 2 from last year, having their best race right at the end of the day. So Cooper on the final lap of the race, 2.7 seconds clear. There he is. He's romped away. Finkelstein is 2nd, and with Morgado having the moment somewhere, he's dropped away. And through into the final sequence of corners, you're about to see the race leader coming. Ben Cooper coming towards us. He's had a very good day,
Ben
Ken.
Cooper, then it was Van Rensburg, sorry.
Here he is, Kent. You're about to pick up the leader for the final checkered flag of the day. Through he comes, left and right. Ben Cooper, 2 wins today. He's battled back in one of the other races. He's been a star. Ben Cooper wins here. 2nd place goes to Alexander Finkelstein. That was a really good drive by Alex. His nose to tail for 3rd and 4th, and a big off there for Marcel Schirmer, who gets a bit of contact from behind from Morgado. Schirmer and Morgado were nose to tail as they came out of the final corner.
Took his hand off the...
Yeah, well, Schirmer put his hand in the air to celebrate, I think. Morgado ran into the back of him, and Schirmer therefore went onto the grass, and we can't see from the commentary box whether he actually made it back to the pits or whether he crashed, but Morgado there right on the tail of Schirmer. So Schirmer 3rd, Morgado 4th, the leading Masters class driver. That was a hairy end to the day. Lennox Lamb 5th. That was a good comeback by Jordan. And Martin Steinertz with a good result there in 6th place. Kevin Ludi, a very strong fight back to come home 7th. Mika Liho, he dropped back on the last lap as well, didn't he? Mika looked like he was going to get his best result of the day, but 8th place in the end, so that was disappointing. He had a 1:17 on the last lap, Mika Liho, so he lost 8 seconds somewhere. There's the result, provisional result anyway. Ben Cooper wins the race. Alexander Finkelstein is 2nd, and Marcel Schirmer in 3rd place. And we've got Ben Cooper down there, the race winner, speaking to Sarah.
Ben Cooper, a very good race. Started off in 6th and you pushed forward and you just knocked down those numbers to 1st where you were able to retain it. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a tough start. I think we had a bit of rain on the grid, and that's the worst it's been out on track for the weather for us. And it was so difficult to see and trying to come through, and luckily, slowly but surely, we got up there and got to the front. I have to have a quick shout out to Cristiano Morgado. Like, he's one of the masters and he's putting it about with all of us lot, and I think he might have got bullied a little bit judging what's talking now, but he deserves to be up there. He's a great driver, and like myself, a 3-time world champion, it's good to be actually finally race against him on a level playing field.
Absolutely. He pulled off 1st at one point, but then you still went through to take the lead.
Yeah, I knew. I've grown up with Cristiano. I've been a teammate with him before, and obviously, like I said, 3 times world champion, both of us, and we get on really well. And I knew if I just showed my nose, he'd give me the room at the end. And he was right on me. He stayed with me until the end. I looked around the last lap, and he wasn't there anymore. So I don't know what happened, but it's good to see him up the front. It's good.
But you were able to pull ahead and retain that lead.
Yeah, it was good. Hopefully, well, I prefer it to be wet tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be like in the dry. I've heard it's going to be dry tomorrow, so we'll see what happens.
Really well done, Ben Cooper. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, he's not bad, is he, Ben Cooper? He's quite a good driver, I reckon. That was terrific performance from Ben. And nice to hear him being so complimentary against another great name of the sport, Cristiano Morgado. I think Ben's pretty impressed with the fact that Cristiano being a Masters driver, being an old wrinkly like me in his 30s, has managed to get up into 4th place. And, well, it could have been a first, probably should have been a second as well, but he got, as Ben said, a bit bullied out of it late on. We didn't see what happened because it was out of the camera shot and on the other side of the circuit. But anyway, a few in the wars in that race. Ben Cooper, though, winning the final race of the day. He's going to be somewhere near the sharp end tomorrow and in the pre-final and in for some good championship points, hopefully for him. But as he said, it's supposed to be dry tomorrow, so it's going to be different again. Cooper wins, Finkelstein is 2nd, Shermer 3rd, Morgado 4th, Lennox Lamb 5th, and Steiner 6th in the final race of the day. Now, just to remind you that tomorrow we've got the finals. We're going to be live on rgmmcmedia.com. We'll have the warm-up from 9 o'clock. The first races, the second chance races from 10 past 10. Then we'll have the pre-finals. And, of course, we'll end the afternoon with the 3 big ones, the 3 grand finals here in the second round of the Rotax Max Euro Challenge here from Laghi in Italy. So our thanks to Sarah, who's been drenched, frankly, down in the pit lane, but she's done a terrific job. Ken, it's been a good day, hasn't it? We've had an awful lot of action. Been some good racing at the sharp end. We've had drivers coming through from the back.